สวัสดีครับผมชื่อรายามาจากเกาะเราครับอายุ54ปีครับหลานชายชื่อสบุญครับนี่ลูกสาวชื่อดาวผู้ตกหลานชายอยู่คอยเก็บขวดอยู่ครับผมเกิดที่เกาะเราใช่ไหมคนพวกพี่ญาติรุ่นพี่มันก็ชวนทำงานทีแรกก็อยู่บนเรือดูเขาทำงานแบบไหนยังไงเขาดำน้ำแบบไหนเราเขาดำได้เราก็ต้องดำได้ใช่ไหมอายุประมาณ13-14โมแกนเขาวางปูไม่ได้ก็วางกุ้งถ้ากุ้งไม่ได้ก็ลงไตน้ำเราต้องหาบางทีก็มันมุดทรายใช่ไหมมุดทรายเราเห็นที่เดียวเห็นตามันอย่างเดียวตอนนี้ก็พอเก่งแล้วดำน้ำเก่งแล้วก็สอนลูกชายแล้ว2 คนไปดำปีตอนโควิดเนี่ยมันทำงานมันลำบากก็ปูก็ไม่ได้เจาะหอยก็ไปขายไม่ได้ขายก็เขาไม่ซื้อเขาไม่รับซื้อไม่รู้ขายตรงไหนถ้ามันถูกทีนี้ก็ไม่รู้ทำยังไงเลยก็คิดไปมาก็ต้องเก็บขวดเดียวว่ามันขายง่ายกว่าดาวให้พ่อไปเก็บดาวบอกว่าพ่อทำอะไรไม่ได้แล้วค่าทำอะไรมันไม่คุ้มค่าน้ำมันค่าอะไรก็พ่อต้องเก็บขวดให้มาเลยก็พอเก็บ
Hundreds of million tons of virgin plastic are produced per year, and only 10% are recycled. So this is one problem. And as the lifespan of a water plastic bottle is 450 years, it means that plastic pollution won't disappear like this overnight. Then, of course, you have the monsoon season here in Thailand. So when you have heavy rain, then you have plastic, leakage into the ocean, traveling through rivers. And so in 2016, we had the first idea to set up a recycling center. For us, it's important to work with local coastal communities. The main goal is to have a social impact. And then with the founder of the Jan and Oscar Foundation, we had this idea to set up a vocational center to help the Moken to find a job. So yeah, we started the project in January 2020, so it was just before COVID and not easy times. And for some of our workers, the problem is quite simple. If you don't get paid today, you won't eat tomorrow. And that's why we continue to collect plastic. We had to inform the Moken on island also about the project. Okay, we are here. I mean, we can pay a higher price. We can help you, to make an extra income if you want. But now I'm quite happy and I'm quite proud of our achievement because we have many Moken on different islands working with us. And for us, it was really important to have them with us and to be able to pay them and continue to work together.
IUCN, as one of the leading global conservation organizations, also got invited to become part of this issue, pointing towards understanding plastic pollution in the marine environment. And so then we started working with our global team to look at how this project should be targeted. Beyond just modeling and data collection, what could we be doing with our partners that would start to support them in the needs that they have?
So we launching a grant program, 50,000 USD, and with this funding, the concept is that we looking for someone who can demonstrate the circular economy concept for plastic that reducing the leakage of plastic to the marine environment. We received 9 proposals, and one of them was submitted by Jan and Oscar Foundation. And the project that they proposed was, for us at that time, circular economy is very new concept. So when we read the proposal by Jan and Oscar Foundation mentioning about the Morgan as a guardian of the sea because they live there and the impact from the marine plastic really affect their livelihood. So at the end, this project become the winner among the 9 proposals that were submitted.
ก่อนหน้านี้เกิดขึ้นสึนามิก็อาจารย์เป็นคนซื้อที่ดินให้มอร์แกนมาอยู่แล้วก็มอร์แกนก็ทีนี้ก็เขาแบบซื้อเรือบริจาคมอร์แกนทำบ้านให้มอร์แกนอยู่ปัจจุบันก็มอร์แกนก็อยู่เรือ
ตอนที่มีโควิดเราก็ลำบากแล้วก็พอเราวางปูวางกุ้งมันก็ไม่มีเลยพอเราไปขายก็ไม่ค่อยมีราคา
ผมคิดว่าเห็นพี่ก้อยเก็บขยะมาเห็นพี่ก้อยเก็บไว้ขายรายได้พอได้ใช้ทางครอบครัวเล็กๆน้อยๆก็เลยผมเห็นชวนภรรยาไปเก็บด้วยช่วงนั้นก็ประมาณอาทิตย์นึงได้พอเมียผมแยกเสร็จผมก็พาไปนองพ่อขายได้500 โลทั้งหมดก็ขายรวมก็ได้ 9,000 กว่าบาทครับ
Another boat is the น้องแม่ใช่ไหม
The Moken people are sea gypsies, so they're nomads.
บางเบนโอ้ไปถึงเกาะกำนะอ๋อนี่บางเบนแล้วเหรอบางเบน4 ชั่วโมงไม่ใช่เหรอคะ
They can be seen in Thailand, especially between Thailand and Myanmar. Their relationship with the sea, I would say, is special because everything would rotate around the sea, the food that they eat, the work that they do. Since their parents are not registered as Thai citizens, they don't have access to social welfare, education, or medical care. And these vulnerabilities are exaggerated, especially during the pandemic.
In the COVID situation, we don't have the toilet come to the island, and when they have the fish or animal feed, they sell to the restaurant. It's not a good price for them and not enough for pay for all family for them. So when I come here, I have to coordinate them, like invite them to be my collector. Like I give them more job. You can be the collector for me. You collect the recycle waste and you can sell to the non-recycle. And we fair with you. We can give the good price with you. We help you transportation and whatever you need equipment or you need the net bag, we can support that for you. When one Morgan family know about the good price of the non-recycle, they start talk together. Like we help them a lot, and now that's why we have more collector from the Morgan.
When we first thought about this project, we thought about something that could help the Moken people, but of course, it can be also beneficial for other groups of minorities, for the Burmese migrant workers or people from Muslim communities, for example, that can also be part of this circular economy.
ก่อนหน้านี้ประมาณ16 ปีที่แล้วนะครับผมทำอยู่กับบริษัทแห่งหนึ่งหรือว่าโรงงานแห่งหนึ่งครับค่ายอยู่ประจำเจอพลาสติกก็แต่ละเดือนมันไม่ต่างกันนะครับนะบางทีละ2 ถึง 3 คนก็มีนะต่อเที่ยวก่อนนะครับนะต่อเที่ยวนี้เที่ยวละก็ประมาณ4 ถึง 500 ลูกแล้วก็มีวันหนึ่งที่ได้มาเปลี่ยนมาค่าตีระนองรีไซเคิลเข้ามา5 ลูกค้าที่เกาะเซ็นให้เนี่ยคือปกติผมจะค่ายที่อื่นเลยแต่แกมาเสนอว่าคือสมมติว่าทางโรงงานอื่นเนี่ยเขาจะให้โล5 บาทสมมุติโล5 บาทถึงทางระนองรีไซเคิลเขาจะเพิ่มตรงนั้นเป็นน้ำหนักเป็น2 บาทก็เป็น7หรือว่า8ประมาณนี้ครับประมาณ7-8 บาทเรือเพิ่มในโลละ2 ถึง 3 บาทต่อโลบางตัวบางอย่างผมก็เลยสนใจมันนึกคิดได้ว่าวันนั้นแกฝากเบอร์โทรไว้ก็เลยลองดูครับตั้งแต่วันนั้นก็ประมาณ1 ปีเศษๆครับผมดีใจครับมีความภาคภูมิใจมากๆที่ได้และก็ยินดีเป็นอย่างยิ่งครับที่ได้รู้จักกับน้องรีไซเคิลหรือว่าทางทีมงานที่บ้านแล้วก็มีวันนี้ดีใจมากๆครับ
Right now in the normal recycling market, plastic is plastic, regardless of whether it comes from mainland or ocean. And so they're bought at the same price by recyclers, even though, of course, they're vastly different. Collectors of ocean plastic need to spend days out in the hot sun digging out plastic from the beaches, aggregating enough volume, and then making a 1 to 2 hour round trip by boat to the mainland to sell it. And so you can see that the costs of collecting ocean plastic are substantially higher. So what Second Life does is to raise this market price for ocean plastic to account for these extra costs. So a plastic credit is a way for companies around the world to engage in funding plastic recovery and recycling projects in areas and communities which need the most support, usually in countries or places where the plastic waste infrastructure is underdeveloped and vulnerable. One plastic credit represents 1 ton of plastic recovered or recycled that wouldn't normally have been otherwise. In our first year of operation in 2020, we recovered and recycled 600 tons of plastic from Thailand and Bali areas. This year, we expect to recover and recycle almost 2,000 tons, with next year increasing still to 5,000 tons from Thailand and the wider Southeast Asia region.
The idea is that you can offset your dependency or need for plastic by removing leakage of plastic into the system somewhere else. I will pay for my rights to continue to use primary plastic by buying, X number of kilos of ocean-bound plastic that will offset that continued need that I have. Now, there are lots of ethical and moral discussions around should plastic credits exist? Is it providing outlets for companies to get away with a continued dependency on plastic? But it is an innovation, and so in simple terms, that has generated a revenue that we can now redirect into providing this premium price at the local community level that then incentivizes communities to collect PET and other valuable plastics that can then enter back into the value stream.
To collect ocean-bound plastic has a cost, and someone should pay for it. And so there are different possibilities. We really need to find a solution to cover transportation costs for our collectors. And this can be done with our partner Second Life, and thanks to plastic credits. We need also buyers, good quality buyers of our product. And Tide Ocean Material is our main partner, but it's for PET bottles, so PET bottles and PP bottles, so that's what you can see here. But then you have many other types of plastics. And this is one challenge. It means that we need to find solutions for all types of plastics. And of course, it will take time. Now, the next step is fishing nets, so nylon fishing nets or plastic fishing nets. And we are running this project in partnership with the Environmental Justice Foundation.
We started the Net Free Seas program here in Thailand about a year and a half ago now. First of all, it's trying to solve an environmental crisis of fishing net waste, which is washing up on our beaches. It's also trying to work with the communities along the coastlines to try and give them an alternative livelihood. So supplementing their income from fishing by allowing them to then recycle their disused fishing nets and turn those into new products. It's also trying to give social gains as well, by empowering these communities to feel that they're actually part of the solution in terms of waste management. So usually we have community members that will be collecting the nets for us. They'll then pool those nets into a bin or a collection point, and then we'll have a network of local partners as well working with us to then collect those nets and then ship those nets to our recycling partners.
We are trying to scale up the project in Krabi, at Wong Panit Krabi, the big recycler. For us here in Ranong, it's really a small project. It's a pilot project, but at least we can test different models, different options. So for now, we are working on the Andaman coast, but then we could also extend the project on the Gulf of Thailand, working on other islands such as Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Koh Tao. But this is maybe for the coming years.
So here, Wong Panit Krabi, we have all the process of facility to facilitate all the plastic from the bale into the flake. We collect ocean plastic from Ranong Recycle up to 100 ton to our flake factory. And we make the flake for about 80 ton out of 100 ton. That is the really perfect PET, and put into the container or bags before delivering to our manufacturer. The number of 2020, we collected 335 ton, while in 221, we increased our volume, even though we have COVID, to 1,000 ton.
Tide Ocean Material is a premium and quality material made from ocean-bound plastic waste. We are, for instance, collecting plastic bottles and we give them a second life so they become a long and durable good. Tide Ocean Material stands for 3 different types of products: granules, filament for 3D printing, and yarn for textiles. All of these products are made from ocean-bound plastic waste that we, and together with our partners such as Ranong Recycle, collected on islands and along the coastlines in Southeast Asia. So far, we have processed 25 million plastic bottles, and this happened within 2 years. So our goal is that we double the amount every year. Our mother company is Braloba, and Braloba Group is one of the world's leading watch strap manufacturer. Braloba produces different kind of straps, from leather to vegan. And the idea of Tide Ocean Material came up when Thomas, our founder, he was looking for an eco-friendly material and was asked by a watch brand, hey, is it possible to take ocean plastic and transform this into a watch strap? So we went into research and it was actually possible, and it's a great proof of concept that you can use this material to create so many different products. Our task is to be a B2B company, so we deliver the material to other companies and brands who produce their very own branded products. Maybe one of the more famous examples I can tell you are watches by a famous watch company called Luminox together with Bear Grylls. So these were watches that were produced and made from our material. Or there's the Italian fashion brand Yamamai. They launched the very first bikini completely made from ocean-bound plastic. And the good thing about these bikinis, people can bring it back to the shops after 2 or 3 years and it will be recyclable again.
So with Net Free Seas, what we've always tried to do is make sure that we've localized the entire project within Thailand. So that's why we prioritize finding companies such as Quali that are forward-looking, progressive, dealing with plastics already, and have this vision to start making really creative, aesthetic products that can use these fishing nets.
When Covid-19 started, we were contacted by EGF. So since then we started to use the material, trial and error, because until today it's still very difficult to get them ready to become the raw materials that we can use it right away with the product. So this is a coaster made from the fishing nets. This is the cotton bud holder. It comes in the penguin. This is the turtle for the magnet. So you have the magnet there as well. So you can hang it on the fridge. This is quite new. Foodie for food waste in the condo or in the house. And then we try to use the new basket for shopping basket for the fishing net. And the latest one that we just launched 2-3 days ago, this is a collaboration work with the Pattani artists, Losin Island. There are like a lot of fishing nets there under the water, and then they pick them up. But we use the fishing nets from the land before they go into the sea. So that's the wild shark and the teacup. So they're sold out in like 1 day. So people who want it now have to wait for a month and a half. Sorry about that.
We live on this boat together in the dry season. Our son lives with us on the boat, and we're dipping into the old way of life of the Moken. During COVID, we were approached by Michel, so we met in Ranong, and he decided to include us in the grant to employ us as the Moken ambassadors. There's many different perspectives on this initiative, because when you live in a hierarchy, the trash picker is at the lowest end. Whereas if you live in the circular economy and you live on a fair trade base, then the fishermen or us actually collecting the trash out of the ocean, to them we're on the same level because we work in the same initiative. It can grow on possibilities and initiatives, but it cannot be forced top down. Of course, there's not a lot of money for it in collecting trash, but if it supports a way of life that already exists and brings in some extra income, the self-initiative, the feeling that you're doing it and you're dedicated to do it, I think that's the part that connects it.
We cannot recycle plastic and pretend that it's going to be the only silver bullet to prove that marine plastic can be sold. It's not enough that one group of people try to collect plastic from the sea, but how we work together to implement, how we can ensure that we can reuse, refill, recycle.
And so we are seeing now the opportunities to share the knowledge about the Jan and Oscar project and the model that they used across Thailand, but across other ASEAN countries as local level solutions and innovations. And so the investment is now coming to actually look at, well, what have we tested on the ground? What are the innovations, the incubated ideas that are starting to produce fruits in terms of solution? And so we will continue to work on building awareness around what is existing out there. This project, it's about sharing those ideas and making sure that the partnerships and people that are ready to be on board to play their role are able to access those opportunities.